Parker, and today we're going to be focusing on a few hip openers, different sequences and movements to work on the hips and just getting a good stretch in that area. Today we're going to start in a seated position as such, hands to knees as I like to sort of start, and just getting a little bit of breathing in right here. Really centering ourselves. You want your spine straight up. You want your butt rooted firmly into the ground. Spine up like like the roots of a tree, extending up into the air. We really want to feel grounded and centered. Our head will be straight, chin square, center line. I'm just going to once again sit here and breathe. Just sort of let a little bit of our stress melt away, let ourselves really focus in and center ourselves in this moment. And to begin our sort of warm-up routine, or dynamic sort of stretching, we're going to begin with just a few of the cat-cow poses. I'm going to turn just so you can see my body and my movements. Once again, hands on the knees, back straight, centered. We're going to do this cat-cow sequence about 5 times. And again, on the cat, stretching back into the shoulders, arms straight, chin down, tucked like so. And on the cow, I want you to focus on bringing your head up. Again, once again, sort of center line, square, looking ahead, opening up the chest. And we're going to breathe in this moment. Exhale into cat. Again, tucking back, tucking the chin, getting extension in the shoulders, and bring the shoulders up just a bit without getting them too high. You don't want your shoulders up here. You want to still be sort of centered. And again, inhale into our cow, chest up, head up. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Rounding out the spine, getting a good stretch in the arms as well. Inhale, cow. Chest fit, pressing out forward, head up. Exhale, cat. We're going to do the sequence once more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. I want you to just sort of relax the shoulders, come back into the seated position, hands on the knees, and just take a moment to breathe here. And what we're going to do from this position is go into a seated twist. We're going to start with a twist to the left side, basically bringing the arm across like so. I want my right hand touching my left knee, and my left hand is going to just sort of interlace over top. Looking over to my left. I don't want my neck going all the way back. It puts too much pressure on you. So I really just want you looking off to the side, about a 90-degree angle from where you were initially looking. Again, focusing on breathing here. Exhaling back into our original position. Inhale, now bring the left hand to the right knee, looking off 90 degrees from where we were, to the right. Exhale back to the center line. Inhale into our seated twist. Exhale back into the center line. Inhale into our twist. Exhale back into the center line. We're going to try this once more. I'm noticing that my own knees are starting to creep up on me. You want to try to keep these knees close to parallel to the ground. Right hand over the left side. Getting a side twist here. If you need an additional stretch, you can bring the elbow across the line, like so. Exhale back to center. Left hand or elbow to the right knee. Again, just getting a seated twist. Just a stretch right here. Warming our bodies up. Exhale back to the center line. And just sort of moving your body around, stretching things out, feeling loose, feeling comfortable. And we're going to go back into our hands on the knees, just sitting in center line like so. From here, I'm going to take my left hand to the floor like so. Right hand above. I'm going to inhale into that stretch. And we're getting a side twist here. Exhaling back into the center line. Right hand's going to touch the floor. Left hand's going to go up. And getting a side bend here. Exhale. Oh.
If I use the shower, is it gonna mess this up?
I'll just voice over it, I guess.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, take a shower. Yeah.
Sure. All right, I'll just be quick.
No, it's all good. Like, what else want to do? You know?
It might not be that noticeable.
Yeah, it might not. Once more, bring left hand down, getting a side bend to the right. Nice back stretch here. Exhale back to the center line. Right hand down, inhale into another side bend. Exhale back to the center line. From here, I'm just taking my feet forward like so. Scooting myself up towards the top of my mat. And just laying back down. It's more or less corpse pose. From here, continuing the stretch. I'm going to inhale, bring knees to chest. Try to get stretch here. Feel free to rock your body back and forth if you want to, just to really maximize that stretching here. Again, focusing on bringing knees as close to the chest as possible. Head looking up to the ceiling. You can keep your shoulders flat to the mat like so. Or if you're feeling a little tight, feel free to sort of roll around a little bit. You can move from side to side. Just really start to feel that stretch. And And then once more, bring yourself back into the center line, into a corpse pose. Now from here, what I want to do, I'm going to bring my left knee up, my right foot over like so. And we're basically going to do a version of a reclined pigeon pose. Okay, once again, bring yourself to the center line. What I want to do here is bring the left knee up, right ankle over the knee. I'm going to inhale and do a reclined pigeon pose. Once again, I'm a little tight in the hips, so this is slow going for me. You can grab your own ankles to try to help with the stretch. You can come inside and grab your own knee, again, once again, to help with the stretch. We're basically doing a pigeon pose from a reclined position. It's good at opening up the hips, getting a good stretch in the thighs as well. Again, try not to bounce here. I want to keep my shoulders flat to the mat if possible. Again, if this is too tough, you can leave your leg down. Just bring your ankle here, and you can kind of just like press up on your toes like so, and just sort of attack the stretch from a different angle. This does do more for the left leg as well here. But again, if you find yourself struggling to get this get this ankle and knee position up higher, that is a modification that's acceptable. And then we're going to come back down, right foot down like so. Switching over, bringing the left ankle up onto the right knee. Again, we're doing the exact same thing. Inhale and trying to do a reclined pigeon pose. You can use your hands to assist. You can grab at your own knee if need be to really try to emphasize that stretch. I prefer hands to the ankle position because I get to keep my shoulders flat to the mat. Focus more on the hips, knees in this particular position. We're going to exhale, bring that back down flat. We'll run through the sequence one more time. Right ankle coming to the left knee. Pushing up into my reclined pigeon. Taking a moment here just to breathe. If you can, you want this knee position to be in sort of a right angle, your left knee. Pushing back into your reclined pigeon. Exhale, bring it back down to center. Left ankle coming over the right knee. And once more, bring the foot up into this pigeon position. If I can, I'm going to try to keep my right leg in a 90-degree angle. Grab my own ankle for assistance here because I'm personally tight in the hips and why these stretches are so important for myself. Exhale, bring it back down to center, like so. Now, from here, to keep this particular stretch going, I'm now going to bring my left leg down flat, right foot up and over, like so. And I'm trying to get right here a reclined spinal twist. If you can, try to keep your shoulders close to flat on the ground. I personally can't. I'm very tight in the hips, so it's okay to have your shoulder up. But we're going to focus a lot on the stretch here. If you can keep I personally like to raise. So bring the foot up and down, bring it back to center. I'm going to place the right leg flat, left leg up and over to a reclined twist. Exhale up, back into our center line. I'm going to repeat this process one more time. Leg comes down. Right leg up and down into a reclined spinal twist. Exhale back into my center line. Right leg goes flat, left leg up and over to a reclined spinal twist. Exhale, bring yourself back to center line. Feel free to move about just to feel that stretch. Once more, I'm going to bring, on the inhale, knees to chest. Exhale, back down once more. Inhale, knees to chest. Exhale, back flat. You're just going to make your way from here into a tabletop position. Whatever's comfortable for you to get there. Whatever's comfortable for you to get here. And once more, feeling that stretch, moving around. Taking on a sort of dancing lion pose here myself, just to feel that stretch, but whatever feels right to you. Preparing ourselves for the next phase. We're going back to just our standard tabletop position. And again, in the spirit of opening up the hips, I'm working on a fire hydrant pose from here. I'm going to take my left leg, left knee specifically, up. And once again, at a 90-degree angle, right angle as it were. Really getting a stretch in the hips. For additional movement, you can kick the legs out straight. But for myself, in this particular variation, I'm just raising the knee up to this 90-degree angle, back flat. Exhale and bring the leg down. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Inhale up into our fire hydrant pose on the right side. Get a 90-degree angle. Feel free if you want to kick out to your side, more or less making your leg perpendicular. But again, for myself in this particular stretch, I'm just staying up high in my fire hydrant pose. Exhale, back down to center line. We're going to repeat this process 2 more times. Inhale, leg comes up into our fire hydrant pose, opening up the hip. Exhale, back down to the tabletop. On our right side, inhale into a fire hydrant. Exhale to tabletop. Inhale to fire hydrant. Exhale to tabletop. Inhale to fire hydrant. Exhale into tabletop. A little friend is joining me today, isn't that right, Dale? Okay. Again, keeping in the spirit of this particular movement, I'm going to move from this tabletop position into a bird dog. In this case, the left hand's coming up straight in front of me. And on an inhale, bring my right leg back. Left arm forward, right leg back to a bird dog position. Exhale, coming back to the center line. We're going to do the other side. Inhale, right arm comes up, left leg comes back. Trying to keep your back straight and as much on a sort of straight line as possible with your limbs. We're going to exhale back into our tabletop. Repeating this process on the left side. Inhale into our bird dog. Exhale into our tabletop. Inhale into a bird dog. Exhale in the tabletop. Interesting. Repeating the process. Inhale into bird dog. Exhale in the tabletop. Inhale into our bird dog. Exhale on the tabletop. All right. What's up, buddy? All right. Once again, I've been joined by a friend. Let's see. So from this tabletop position, I'm now working my way into plank. Let's inhale into that plank position. Move from here. Yeah, I know. It's all good. It's what it is. It's not super in the way at the moment with the pose that I'm doing, but from tabletop
All right.
Thank you. From this tabletop position, I'm going to move into my plank. That's an inhale into a high plank. In this case, starting with the left side. Exhale, because of the contraction of this movement. Exhale into a from our tabletop position, we're going to inhale into a plank, to a high plank. I'm going to exhale, bringing my left knee to chest. So plank, knee to chest position. Inhale, coming back to a high plank. Exhale, coming into right side, knee to chest. Inhale, coming back into our plank. I'm going to reset into the tabletop. Just to rest the shoulders a bit, and again, getting a little bit of movement here, feeling that stretch. And I'm inhaling back into my high plank. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, high plank. Okay, I have been joined by a friend, so this is going to be a little bit more difficult for me. But from here, the idea is to bring the feet forward, walking up towards the top of your mat, hands still on the floor, into a forward fold. I'm going to inhale, half lift, exhale, back into my forward fold. Inhale into a half lift. Exhale, back into a forward fold. I'm going to inhale, bring myself back into a mountain pose. Lights up. I want us to focus on resetting the feet from here. I want to get a bit of a wider stance here. So, again, bringing my legs into a bit of a wider stance here, a little bit past the hips. You want them sort of right on the outer edges of your shoulder. I'm going to exhale into a wide leg front fold. Inhale back in the mountain. Exhale into a wide leg front fold. Inhale, walking back up into a mountain pose. And just one more time. Inhaling into our forward fold. Exhaling into a wide stance. Now from here, keeping that wide stance position, you're going to take your feet and angle them out. Right foot to the right, left foot out to the left, and you're just getting you're making this shape with your feet. And we're preparing ourselves for a garland pose. So from this wide stance with the feet now turn out towards the edges of your mat is a nice way to, towards the corners, top corners of your mat would be a nice way to describe this. I'm then going to go into a squat, low squat, with my hands inside of the knees. I want my back straight here, just so you can see. I want my back straight here and butt as close to the ground as possible. My head facing forward. If this pose is difficult for you, you can get a block like so. And literally sit the hips onto the block. This will leave a lot of pressure on you. It should allow you to sit straighter. And we're going to have our hands at heart center. Taking a moment in this stretch for you. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. When we go to exit this pose, I like to bring my hands down to the mat, leaving pressure off of my legs, and I'm going to exhale, leaving pressure off my legs. Just going to inhale back into our mountain pose. I want to go back in this sequence once more, and I'm going to once again have the legs wide. Start the squat into the ground with your shoulders only slightly, shoulders over the hip line, back straight if possible, elbows on the inside, and into a heart pose from here. Hands on the center line. Okay, once more from this position. Got my legs wide. Going to exhale into that squat with my elbows inside my thighs. Head up, back straight if possible. Hands to heart center. And from here I'm going to transition into a crow pose. So from your garland pose that you're currently in, you'll bring the hands down to the floor. Staying in that garland position, you'll see them up on my toes. I'm giving my knees a shelf on my own elbows. I'm leaning forward. Now this is a tougher pose. If you want, you do not need to raise the toes off the mat. You can just sort of play in this space and lean forward, lean back, getting a feel for this movement. For the more advanced, from here, palms flat on the ground. From this garland pose, you come right up into a crow, like so. I personally like to try to keep my head up a bit so I don't fall straight forward. Again, good idea to sort of play in the space. Not a bad idea if you're new to this position to continue to use the block and get a feel for what it's like shifting your weight from that block towards your hands. Ultimately realizing that you're going to be using a bit of your upper body to maintain your position in the crow pose. So once more, from what was originally a garland pose, hands come to the floor, using this area as more or less a shelf for your knees. Having the hands on the inside, inhale coming right in, inhale coming right into my crow crow pose. Exhaling back to the mat. Inhaling, coming into my crow pose. Exhaling back into the mat. We're just going to exhale right back into our mountain pose, like so. Now, from here, because of the difficulty of that stretch, we do want to come into a nice sort of cool down. And once again, instead of having my feet facing out like this, I'm bringing back, straight line, keeping this wide leg stance, and I want to just do one more exhale into a forward fold, wide leg forward fold. From this position, I want you to just hug your own arms, sort of get into a ragdoll from this wide stance, stretching out the hips, beginning our cool down process. Inhale back up. Feeling pretty good there. From here, I'm going to bring the legs back center. Back closer together into more of a traditional mountain pose. I'm going to exhale into a forward fold. Inhale into a plank position. And from here, I'm just dropping my knees down into tabletop. We've done some good work today, so I want to focus once again on a little bit of movement here. What I've been sort of calling the dancing lion pose. Moving around, feeling good in the hips. I'm going to exhale back into child's pose. Inhale back into a tabletop. And moving around, going in the hips. Feeling pretty good. Exhale back into our child's pose. Inhale into tabletop. I'm just going to slowly make my way back into a seated position. Back where we started this entire process. And once more, I'm going to take the left hand to the right knee, do a seated twist. Exhale back to the center line. Right hand to left knee, seated twist. Exhale back to the center line. Moving the feet forward. Scooting up towards the top of my mat. I'm going to lay back. And once more playing in this position, bring knees to chest, like so. Again, just like before, feel free to roll around. Really loosen up the spine, beginning our cool down process. Exhale, everything back down. Bring my left leg up. Bring my right knee towards my chest. Just dropping it to a recline twist. Exhale back to my center line. Left knee towards my chest. Dropping it down to a recline twist. Exhale back to the center line. Left knee up. Right ankle above that knee. Pulling in towards you for a recline pigeon pose once more. Good stretch. Exhale, bringing this back down. Switching the leg, bringing the left ankle over the right knee, pulling in to a recline pigeon pose. Exhale, bring it back down. Remember to finish today. Savat. I'm going to finish today in Shavasana. Bring myself in the corpse pose. Again, great work today. Once again, rooting ourselves, focusing on our breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. As always, feel free to play around in this pose, stay as still as you like. This is your time. Everything just be still for a moment. Rooted in the earth. Feeling the mat. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Just taking time to reflect on the good work today. Stretches, opening up the hips, really loosening up so that we can get into that garland, ultimately into the crow pose. Using any modifications needed, it's your practice. Whatever feels right for your body. We're all different in this journey. You know, in your own time, making your way back up to a seated position. Well done today. Hopefully you feel a lot looser in the hips, really opening that up, and that's something as we practice, we get more and more flexibility in that area. Again, if it's a problem area for you, there's many modifications that can be done to make it more amenable to you. I've got a lot of work myself in this particular area from years of playing sports, really not doing my body justice in terms of stretching and flexibility and things that something that I'm working on in this phase of my own life and this phase of my own journey. So once again, thank you for taking time for yourself, for joining me today for a hip opening sequence. My name is RYT. Thank you once more.